All right, this is Spokane Preinspection inspection of the 2016 Nissan Frontier engine bay inspection. First impressions are it is very clean in terms of rust, any damage. I'm not seeing any damage on the front core support, any evidence of witness marks of replaced bolts. Everything is very easy to see up through the bumper cover into the crash rail. It's very nice. I'm not seeing any replaced componentry, changes in patina, harness, wiring damage, mechanical damage, missing componentry. All the hoses for the auxiliary coolers, the oil coolers are dry. There's no seepage, leakage on those. I'm not seeing any staining, any wet marks on the condenser or oil cooler. Moving back, no oxidation on the battery. Harness nice and clean, no mechanical damage, no sign of rodent infestation, no staining or overflow of any sort of expansion tanks or the reservoirs for power steering. Nothing appears to be replaced on the passenger side. Traveling back, looking at coolant lines, seeing if there's been any seepage, repairs, crystallization, staining, leaks. I'm not seeing any signs of that. Looking at timing cover, evidence of leaks, weeps, or repairs on timing cover. Not seeing any of that. I am hearing a small sound from the front of the engine on the accessories. Might be a pulley or a belt, undetermined at this time. There is a little bit of movement on the timing belt tensioner, serpentine belt tensioner. A little bit of movement's normal. Typically that's the first pulley that tends to go. The clutch on the AC is engaging and disengaging as it should. The sound's not coming from the clutch on the AC pulley. Moving to driver's side, checking valve covers. No leaks along the valve cover. No arrested leaks on the valve cover. No damage or staining on the heat shield for the exhaust. Checking for boots, tearing on the intermediate shaft. Any damage to the steering shaft leading down to the steering rack. Top down, not seeing any damage to the steering rack or boots or seals. ABS module is very well kept. It's not oxidized at all. The metal looks nice and new. All the patinas are the same. We've documented that if the module itself was shiny, but the coloration for the flare nuts were different, then the module might have been replaced. I'm not seeing evidence of that. Vehicle is very clean and clear in the engine bay. Not seeing any damage along the main breakout harness for the PCM, body control module and PCM, and no tearing or damage to the insulation on the hood liner. Engine bay gets a clean bill of health. All right, this is the exterior inspection of the 2016 Nissan Frontier. We're starting with the passenger side. What we're checking for is square paneling, looking for signs of collision damage. I'm checking the joints between the front quarter panel and the A pillar and the A panel gap. So that comes back past square, working back on down the vehicle, going to B pillar. B pillar is square, going back down to C pillar, rear door, passenger, square. Checking for any sort of, I'm going to check both sides. We're going to check and see if the bed has been pushed up. If this bed is closer on this side than the other side, that could imply that maybe the frame was tweaked. You know, the evidence of that would be like crab walking down the highway, like as if it was rear-ended and the frame was twisted. So you see that the bed didn't quite line up with the frame. So checking that right there. Walking back, very minor cosmetic damage, some scuffing in the clear coat. Walking back, no scuffing on the right rear wheel. Let's see. Checking rear bumper, any sort of displacement on the rear bumper, seeing if it's out of square, if it's been pushed down or improperly mounted. No, that's good. Okay. Documenting a little bit of clear coat damage into the left rear panel for the truck bed. No severe dents or anything at this time. Left wheel comes back clear. Okay. Looking at the truck bed gap, that appears visually to be the same as the other side. I'm not seeing any sort of deviations along the bed. C pillar for left rear door, good. B pillar, good. A pillar, good. Okay, we're gonna close the hood and we're gonna check for square on the hood between the two front quarter panels. Okay, walking that. Front driver quarter panel, good. Driver's side, good. Checking bumper cover for damage, any sort of broken clips, screws. We're gonna push, we're gonna pull. We're gonna make sure that it's not loose at any point. Okay, Front bumper cover comes back good. All the rocker panels are good. They're loose and not making any noise. Didn't hear any clunking on the drive. And rear bumper, nothing loose back here. Exterior gets a pass. Thank you. Okay, this is the underbody inspection of the 2016 Nissan Frontier. Initial impression is good. There's not any amount of excessive rust on any sort of the cross members, packed in mud, high centering, evidence of curbing the car or running over anything. We're starting on the passenger side of the vehicle. See, we've got cross member there. Cross member comes back clear, no scrapes, bumps, dents. That is the transmission cross member right there. Moving around to the front. No evidence of leaks. There's the oil pan right there. No evidence of damage, crushed in, leaks, or staining on the oil pan. Boots on front axles are dry. Boots on steering linkage are dry. There's no arrow underneath this vehicle. It makes it very easy for me to inspect the vehicle and see if there is any damage. Checking transfer case, front diff case. That comes back dry. No damage on driver's side. Control arms, knuckles, boots. Front end is clear. Checking driver's side, same thing. Looking, there's the transmission pan. The transmission pan is dry, no leaks there. There's the transfer case for four-wheel drive. Checking that, no leaks here on the seams. That's clear. Exhaust system is actually, for the minimal amount of rust on it, is very good condition. There's very minimal rust on that. I'm assuming that the modified exhaust sound is actually just from a muffler, not a whole catback system. This is probably the OE exhaust. And then the muffler is just probably just what's been changed. So we might be able to see that on the rear documentation. Checking pinion flange on rear differential, that's dry. Rear spare tire is intact. All componentry appears to be there. It's not dangling or hanging. Okay, the fill port on the differential is a little bit greasy. It may have been serviced or has a very minor seep. No cause for concern. Just documenting, not a concern. Let's see. Okay, muffler is actually farther up. We're gonna check that. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it might be something like a Flowmaster, kind of maybe Series 50 or something like that. It looks like it was done a fair amount of time ago. Those welds right there, you can see that those likely aren't, that's not a stock muffler. So it's very likely not a stock muffler due to the shape. So it's like the universal canister mufflers. So underbody comes back free and clear. Underbody gets a pass. Thank you. This is the interior inspection video of the 2016 Nissan Frontier. Clean bill of health right off the bat. Everything messed with works. Infotainment works. HVAC works. Four-wheel drive system works. No damage to the interior. Seats, all no damage, rips, tears, stains. No smells. All the floor mats are in the vehicle. No damage to the upholstery lining, no damage to the roof, no evidence of a replaced airbag, SRS airbag deployment, no damage during opening and closing of doors, no damage on the window seals or the weather guard seals on the door. The interior of this vehicle gets a clean bill of health. Thank you. Okay, this is a video of the 2016 Nissan Frontier truck bed video. Takes place of the trunk video. There has been a well-installed aftermarket roll-up bed tonneau cover. Not seeing any heavy signs of oxidation, damage, improper installation. The tonneau cover itself is in good shape for its age. It's not really showing much wear at all. And the Velcro closure still works very well, and as well as the latch. The latch is a cable. It runs across both sides, so you can pull it on either side. There's no damage in the truck bed, punches, holes, punctures, things like that. So truck bed gets a clean bill of health. Okay, this is the code scan video for the 2016 Nissan Frontier. I'm not seeing any system readiness alerts or anything like that, like I typically see in maybe some Fords that show that the computers have been cleared. Not seeing any stored codes for ABS or tire pressure control systems. That's good. Typically, I do see that on vehicles of this age. Just as a quick sample, let's go ahead and go into the ABS module. And it's slow, my apologies. So in these menus, we should, even if there could be a stored code, historical code, pending code, current code, not seeing anything like that in the ABS module. That was the case in the engine control module as well. So there's nothing in the computers in the code scan that leads me to believe that anything has either been cleared out or that there's anything pending that might be a concern for the customer. So code scan gets a clean bill of health. Thank you. Okay, this is the conclusions video for the 2016 Nissan Frontier. All systems come back clear, clean bill of health in all systems, all videos. Nothing really to report. Vehicle handles very smooth on the highway, shifts very well. The suspension is very solid, very tight. Nothing felt loose. No ball joints. No steering linkage. It tracked straight on the highway. We hit some pretty severe bumps on the on-ramp. Did not get any bump steer. The rear end didn't drift. It didn't sag. Didn't feel like it was going to kind of wobble out from behind us like we had a loose shackle on the leaf springs. The only thing to really document this vehicle, there is a little bit of a kind of a squeak, maybe a rattle on the accessory belts, which is documented under the engine bay video. But on the whole, the vehicle comes back for a clean bill of health, and for a 2016 vehicle, appears to have been very well maintained and cared for. This is the conclusions video. Thank you very much.